We all work for money, using our bodies and minds in different ways. But society respects some jobs and condemns others. Why is that? Mother Nussbaum, in a reading, has pointed out that many jobs involve bodily labor, whether you're a singer, a factory worker, or even a sex worker. But for centuries, some jobs have been seen as respectable, while others are seen as shameful. Martha's main argument in a reading is, why is prostitution stigmatized and criminalized when other bodily professions are not? Despite similar conditions of bodily labor, health risks, and limited autonomy. To represent the inconsistency in the society, Martha has compared prostitution to several other bodily professions to highlight the inconsistencies in society's attitudes. Factory worker often involves repetitive, low paid, and low autonomy labor with health risks. Factory workers, however, do not face the same stigma. She has taken a similar example of a domestic servant and a nightclub singer. She says both the roles of a domestic servant and a prostitute are tied to fulfilling the needs of others and are often stigmatized due to the connection with low socioeconomic status. Domestic servants, however, are viewed more favorably. A nightclub singer provides pleasure through bodily performance, but unlike prostitutes, singers are not stigmatized. This highlights societal acceptance of certain pleasurable services, but not others. She has also taken a significant example of a professor of philosophy who uses mental labor, which she considers as intimate and self expressive. However, the profession is respected, well compensated, and non stigmatized. Nussbaum notes that the profession of a professor of philosophy challenges the notion that taking money for intimate activities should be degrading. Nussbaum, in a reading, has argued that class and gender biases drive the gender stigma around the profession of prostitution. Historically, society looked down on any kind of work involving bodily labor, especially when women's bodies were involved. But over time, some professions became respected, while others, like prostitution, did not. Nussbaum challenges the idea that sex workers have no autonomy. She argues that for many workers, it's a choice, just like any other job. The issue isn't about just sex work, it roots out from the issues of poverty and limited options. Nussbaum challenges the idea that prostitution inherently lacks autonomy, pointing out that limited autonomy is common in many working class jobs.
Rather than criminalizing one job, shouldn't we work to improve options for all workers?
Nussbaum also talks about the idea of commodification. She notes that many critics say that taking money for sexual services makes a prostitute a commodity. However, Nussbaum argues that many workers sell their skills, whether teaching, singing, or giving massages. She argues that accepting money doesn't make work less valuable. Then, why should it be different for sex work? Nussbaum believes that much of the stigma around sex work is rooted in old beliefs about women needing to be controlled. Society sees sex workers as dangerous because they challenge the traditional ideas of gender hierarchy. So, what does Nussbaum suggest? She suggests that rather than condemning sex work, we should reevaluate our laws and attitudes. By decriminalizing it and supporting workers, we can create a fairer and safer society.